Greetings and blessings to all of you out there, my amazing friends here on my channel. Thank you for joining me. We're here studying the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today we're going to be doing lesson number 68. Congratulations for getting this far. And I am on day 7 of my water fast here in Costa Rica. Cheers. It was quite hard yesterday for a couple of hours to continue drinking the amount of water that I'm supposed to be drinking because I had some serious nausea going on. So I took a nap in the hammock back there for about an hour and a half, woke up, I was still a little nauseous, kept slipping the water slowly, and the nausea went away. A miracle, right? So anyway, let's get into today's lesson and we can talk a little bit more at the end about the lesson, about the water fast, and some other illuminating things that come to mind. All right, so here we go. Love holds no grievances. You were created by love, like itself, can hold you who were created by love, like itself, can hold no grievances and know yourself. To hold a grievance is to forget who you are. To hold a grievance is to see yourself as a body. To hold a grievance is to let the ego rule your mind and to condemn the body to death. Perhaps you do not fully realize just what holding grievances does to your mind. It seems to split you off from your source and make you unlike him. It makes you believe that he is like what you think you have become. For no one can conceive of his creator unlike himself. Let me read that again. It makes you believe that he is like what you think you have become, for no one can conceive of his creator as unlike himself. Shut off from yourself, which remains aware of its likeness to its creator. Yourself seems to sleep, while the part of your mind that weaves illusions in its sleep appears to be awake. Can all this arise from holding grievances? Oh, yes. For he who holds grievances denies he was created by love, and his creator has become fearful to him in his dream of hate. Who can dream of hatred and not fear God? It is as sure as those who hold grievances will redefine God in their own image, as it is certain that God created them like himself and defined them as part of him. It is as sure that those who hold grievances will suffer guilt, as it is certain that those who forgive will find peace. It is as sure that those who hold grievances will forget who they are, as it is certain that those who forgive will remember. Would you not be willing to relinquish your grievances if you believed all this were so? Perhaps you do not think you can let your grievances go. Perhaps you do not think you can let your grievances go. That, however, is simply a matter of motivation. Today, we will try to find out how you would feel without them. If you succeed ever so little, there will never be a problem in motivation ever again. Begin today's extended practice period by searching your mind for those against whom you hold what you regard as major grievances. Major. Some of those will be quite easy to find. Then think of the seemingly minor grievances you hold against those you like and even think you love. It will quickly become apparent that there is no one against whom you do not cherish grievances of some sort. This has left you alone in all the universe in your perception of yourself. Determine now to see all these people as friends. Say to them all, thinking of each one in turn as you do so, I would see you as my friend, that I remember you are part of me and come to know myself. Spend the remainder of the practice period trying to think of yourself as completely at peace with everyone and everything, safe in a world that protects you and loves you, and that you love in return. Try to feel safety around you, hovering over you and holding you up. Try to believe, however briefly, that nothing can harm you in any way. At the end of the practice period, tell yourself, love holds no grievances. When I let all my grievances go, I will know I am perfectly safe. The short practice periods should include a quick application of today's idea in this form whenever any thought of grievance arises against anyone, physically present or not. Love holds no grievances. Let me not betray myself. In addition, repeat the idea several times an hour in this form. Love holds no grievances. I would wake to myself by laying all my grievances aside and awakening in him. Well, isn't that some good information from Jesus? That no matter who our closest friends are, we've got grievances with them and everybody else in the circle around us. And I have to tell you, what came to mind immediately when I was reading this lesson this morning is one of the 18 people here that are fasting together. A woman explained to me yesterday after I announced that I thought urine therapy was crazy because urine is a waste product. Who would ever drink it? So this woman sitting in this little circle of people I was talking to says, well, I've been doing urine. She's from Australia or the UK. I've been doing urine therapy for like 7 years. I was like, okay. Whoa, ego. Don't judge this person. And then I said, okay, I'm going to suspend my judgments and I would love to hear your experience. And she told me about how urine therapy healed her of many things, that when you actually take the urine and put it in a container on the shelf for at least 2 weeks, it becomes even more effective. It's a good cleaner. She's like, oh, if you ever have a stain, like a blood stain or a grass stain, the urine, the aged urine will take it out quickly. And I was just kind of like both parts of my mind were very active. The right-minded, loving part was like, oh, I see her innocence. She's a sister of God. And then the ego part was like, what the hell are you talking about? So it was so interesting to be in that conversation with her and have like both sides of me kind of flailing about at the same time, or with some kind of activity at the same time. So anyway, there's very interesting people here. And I would say that most people are doing 21 days like I am. And this is only 1/3 of the way through the experience, by the way, friends. But there's people that literally are just standard American diet, showed up here, they're overweight, they're older, they're dealing with all these health issues, and they look like crap in the morning. I mean, they look really exhausted and this is really draining them. One lady, she had pink eye the first few days, and in the morning, like around 3 a.m., I heard so much coughing and nose blowing, and like people are going through flu-like symptoms and all that kind of stuff is arising. So for me, I feel a definite reduction in energy for sure. I have to be really careful when I stand up to not stand up too quickly. My blood pressure is moving around. I showed up here at 135 pounds. Yesterday when I weighed in, I was 125. So I imagine I'm going to continue to get thinner, and my mouth is so dry right now. I'm going to continue to get thinner. And things may appear to be different with me. You know, I have no idea what to expect. But going into this process and knowing that I see the face of God in everyone, and I believe that the body isn't real, yet the ego is still coming forth and, you know, projecting onto these other people and probably just showing me what my beliefs and fears are about myself and my own body. So that's just how this works. So the love holds no grievances is a great lesson for me today, and I will be contemplating a lot with that. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is, again, so I'm 1/3 of the way through my process here with this water fast. And I need to impress upon you, fasting used to be as common as turkey on Thanksgiving, okay? Human beings have fasted in order to heal diseases or regain health for centuries prior to the Rockefeller invasion of our country and the beginning of the pharmaceutical industry, which, by the way, is only about suppressing symptoms. And I would say even some of the alternative medicine, holistic practitioners, if you're issued anything, it's just going to suppress your symptoms. Maybe it'll make you feel better. Maybe you need to feel better temporarily. But, you know, taking any kind of additional medicines for a long period of time is not allowing your body to do the work. And I didn't used to totally believe this until I've been here. Literally just drinking water. Look, you guys, I used to like to have a green juice in the morning, or a matcha or a green tea or something. And way back in the day, I used to like to have coffee first thing, okay? But to think that I'm starting every day with just water and only having water all day literally blows my mind. You know, this is so unusual for me. And to get into a place of acceptance is, well, it's happening because that's what I'm doing. But I'm not taking in anything. And you have to be really careful that you don't drink the water too quickly, because if you do, you can wash away your electrolytes. And there ain't nothing coming in to replenish those electrolytes. So your ass could be taken off to the hospital because you've fallen into some kind of a state of unconsciousness or something, which I haven't seen anybody do that yet. Everyone's being really careful to just sip the water carefully. So anyway, what I also wanted to connect to our study here, I always come back to this. You know, the Course in Miracles says the body isn't real. The body is a learning device, right? So what I am doing is, I think, way more of a spiritual thing than a physical thing. But where I'm at right now in this world is like, I feel like this body's real, and I feel like what I'm going through is a real experience. So just as Jesus did, where he allowed himself to be put up on the cross and tortured to death, he went through this process of trying to show everyone what was really going on, but yet everyone was caught up in the body experience. In fact, the Catholic Church and many other churches use the bloody Jesus on a cross as their symbol of, you know, of worship. It's like, that's your focal point in the church. It's ridiculous. So what I'm asking you to do is play along with me, because I didn't realize this when I signed up, that Easter was going to be literally like the day after I go home. So I'm going to go through this 21-day fast. And then part of this program is a 7-day refeed, which includes basically mandatory exercise. So I'm going to, like, you know, be sunken in, like, by the end of this, who knows what I'm going to look like, right? And then starting on the 22nd day of this experience, I'm going to be offered food to eat. And then throughout that week, I'm going to be eating more, and I'm going to be exercising. And it's literally like a death and rebirth or resurrection is going to be happening to me. And I love the fact that I'm making these videos every day, because you get to see this process as well. And I hope that it's challenging you in your spiritual beliefs and in your physical beliefs. Like, wherever you're at with your body, please know that, you know, most people are incredibly dehydrated, very, very dehydrated. In fact, what we identify as the signs of aging is actually just a form of dehydration. So just know that. And we have this understanding about the morning. That's Eli. We have this understanding about just all the illnesses and sicknesses that we go through, and we don't trace it back to the poor dietary habits that we've had throughout our lives. You know, starting from your foundational years, where perhaps your parents were doing the best they could, but they fed you in a way that wasn't ideal. And what we're learning here at this center, again, this is always up for debate, right? What we're learning at this center here is that the ideal diet for humans is raw fruits and vegetables. Really, raw fruits and leafy greens. No oils, no seasonings, no processed foods, no processed sugars, of course, no caffeine. So can you imagine, if you took all those things away from your life, how miserable would you be? And it's really the ego that's in charge of telling you that you need all those things. Yes, you may have been brought up that way. Yes, you may be living in a condition where that's just what's available to you, or whatever it is. There is an actual ideal way to, be aligned with your body's rhythm, even if the body isn't real, everyone. I'm not somebody who's going to say, well, the body isn't real, so fuck it. Let's go have chocolate cake and let's go out to eat every night. No way. Because to me, knowing what I know now, going through this experience and all the other ones that I've gone through in the past year that are all about loving my body and bringing it to its ideal health, there's no way that I could see that as loving. And this is a possession, basically, that I have during the time that I'm incarnated as Sherry on this illusory dream planet. I'm going to love this body. And I'm not going to love it by saying, oh, I'll just give it whatever because it's not real. That cannot be love. So let me impress that upon you while I'm doing this water fast experience. Right before your eyes, you get to see this. This is a choice that I made. Yes, it's an expensive experience, but you can do this at home because the director here, Lauren Lockman, he offers Zoom consults while you're at home. So you can select to do a week long, 2 weeks long. Me, I did 3 weeks. You could do whatever you want, but you have access to do this kind of thing. I would highly suggest you do it supervised if you choose to do it. But yeah, so to me, this is teaching me that what's dying in me is a big part of my ego that's been controlling me and encouraging me to eat all of these things, which let me show you guys. Look at my tongue. So if you know about Chinese medicine, most acupuncturists will want to look at your tongue before a session. So my tongue is disgusting right now. It's so dry. It's got like brown, yellow stuff on it. And that's toxicity in my body. And those of you who are friends of mine that know me, I've been eating super clean for the past year. Yet still, deep within me, there are toxins and perhaps latent diseases or whatever. And that is showing up on my tongue. So what I'm doing here is the death of the ego. I mean, it's just no other way to describe it. And at the end of this experience is going to be a resurrection. And it's up to me to determine how much discipline I'm going to use to stick with the ideal diet for man as I move forward. So let me be that example for you. Let me be the example of death and resurrection. And then you can decide whatever you might be dealing with, emotionally, physically, in your realm of existence. What can you change? What are you holding on to that is really not serving you and probably harming you and prospecting you for a tougher time as you go through your aging process in a fake body on a fake world? So with all that, thank you for joining me. I really love all of you. Love holds no grievances. None of this is meant to be shamey at all. It's education. I'm learning every single second that I'm here. I'm learning about how the body works. I'm learning about how I can love other people that I'm very different from and don't agree with. And I'm also learning about how to accept that I need to stay right here in the right now, because that's the only thing that's real. So that's what I have to offer you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you back again tomorrow.